All right, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay back again with another video. I know it's been like a little while and stuff like that, but I'm back at it. Virgo season is kind of like my hardest season for me and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure we all got like maybe whatever season it may be for you. That's like your most difficult time and stuff like that to kind of get with the energies and whatnot. But yeah, I got a lot of energies, squaring and conjuncting and a lot of opposition during this time. So it's like, just a lot of expansion and growth happening during this time. A lot of tests coming for me and stuff like that. But it's all for the better. I'm in a great space still, and I hope everybody is doing well as well. So yeah, let's get right into this video and stuff like that. I'm definitely gonna be back, and I'm getting back at it and things like that. So yeah, this is me getting back on track. So this video, I'm pretty much gonna be talking about like the importance of like esoteric communication when it comes to communicating like with higher spirits or even just any type of spirit you're trying to get in contact with. Doesn't necessarily have to be about higher or lower, things like that, but just whatever spirits that you're trying to connect with at the time being, for whatever reason, or to communicate with your own spirit, and to communicate with yourself, your higher self. And also, to communicate, if you do, you want to communicate, like you want to try to communicate with source itself, because everybody wants to, call it God and things like that, or whatever, you can call it whatever you want, the universe, things like this, but definitely, when it comes to communicating to a higher power, like a source and things like that, it's going to take a lot more than just, communicating with your spirit, communicating with your spirit. And yeah, um, communicating like with other spirits out there and stuff like that, and it could be difficult communicating with other spirits because they may be in higher dimensions and things like that. So you do need to be on a more elevated level to communicate with them, because they probably won't even want to communicate with you if you're not in the right space or energy, frequency, vibration, and things like that. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So, to start, I'm going to talk about a lot of the different tools that I feel we have to use, in terms of esoteric communication to kind of communicate whatever it is we want to communicate. You know what I'm saying? So starting out with like prayer and stuff like that, right? And I know we may look at prayer a certain way, and I mean, even for me, I kind of grew up, my parents, took me to church growing up and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I wasn't too big on it. Like my spirit always, I was very connected to my spirits ever since I was little and things like that, right? And I feel like I was very spiritual instead of like religious and things like that. But I feel like, like I said, they brought me up going to church and things like that. But I was always, it was never about like church to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, my form of prayer, it has become so powerful. Where I found what works for me, because I feel like, prayer and the way they teach you, like, it's basically going to be more so about the words. They try to focus on the words and like the external and like the left brain logical aspect of things, because yeah, like I said, I feel like the way they teach it is prayer, and then you use the words and the type of words they use. It's kind of like giving your power away and things like that. Anyway, like when you say Amen, you're giving your power away to a man who made, the spirits that kind of made this. And we know like religion was kind of formed in a very masculine way, like they kind of shun the whole feminine energy and things like that. So when you say Amen, you're giving your power away to whatever spirits came up with that, or just the whole thing about it, dear father, and all these things, I feel like it's very misleading and very just not right for us what we should be doing, because I feel like when they pray like that, it's usually from a space of like wanting and needing and being in a very low vibrational, like I need help, things like this, and a lot of them will do it, but they don't really want to do the work. They just put it on God, Jesus, or whatever. I'll just pray about it, things like that. But it's like they're not about it. Like they're not true to it. They don't actually believe in something. It's kind of just like they need to be shown to believe in it, and that's never going to be the way that you truly connect with source and things like that, because the source itself is not going to it doesn't really do all of that. It doesn't know what you're saying in terms of like words, and that's all you have is the words, and that's what you're putting all your intentions into is the words, but you don't have anything behind that. Because yeah, I feel like in terms of when it comes to prayer, You could just take it like, I mean, are you gonna have a friend? Like, say you have a friend and something like that, right? Or whatever, just a relationship with somebody, and it's like they always come to you when they need something. Like that's the only time they come to you is like, hey, can I borrow some money? Hey, this and that. It's always them needing something though. Like they're never giving back to you, or they're never just trying to hang out with you or talk to you, just in general. Just on a when things are going good, they don't want to talk to you. It's just like, hey, whenever they need something. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I feel like, a lot of people will use prayer, what I'm saying? Especially under religions. It's like, so do you think Source is going to be like, what I'm saying? Constantly trying to help people or constantly trying to build a relationship with people if they're just always coming to Source when it's like they need something? Because I mean, like I said, I've never been like that when I was even in church, like I was the way I see it, what I came to the conclusion is, prayer, however you want to look at it. And I'm not saying words are just, words can be super powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like words can be like a wand in itself. You know what I'm saying? Like our magic wand, we could probably have different forms of magic wands, and our words can be a magic wand in itself. Um, kind of like I already kind of like broke down. Like your words are your paintbrush as well. Either how you even want to look at it. Um, but yeah, like you gotta like to me, I came to the conclusion is like, and even when I was in church, I was like, all I'm really worried about, and the whole everybody at the church was kind of, oh, that Jordan like this and that and the other, but it's like no, I was just trying to tell people, and they saw what I was about, but it was just like I was mainly about building a relationship. I was like, bottom line, I'm working on my relationship with the Source. I'm trying to build a relationship. Like I said, I talk to Source about anything and everything. I don't just talk, like, oh, I need something, or I need some help with this and that and the other. It's all I just built a relationship with it, just like you would build a relationship with one of your best friends or something, right? Um, and that's how you truly start to build a connection with Source. That's on the highest level. I'm communicating with Source. I got a relationship with Source itself, not just other spirits. Yes, I'm very in tune with myself. I got a relationship with myself, but I got a relationship with Source as well, and that's going to take time. It's not just going to happen like I said. I've been doing that since I was a kid. It's going to take time. It's not just going to happen overnight, or maybe 1 week or a month, or it's going to take years. You know what I'm saying? That's, like I said, that's on the highest level of things. Um, but yeah, that's like one of the first things I wanted to talk about was like when it comes to prayer, and we definitely have to start using affirmations and things like that. That's another form of that's how you really should be praying, like start affirming things, because Source likes that, Source doesn't like weak spirits or doesn't like spirits that don't know what they're capable of. And the bottom line is like, even if you are gonna pray from a space, like take all your power back and then pray and see how much different you start praying. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of people will pray from a power of being powerless, and that's Source. I mean, Source is like we can think about that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like this great parameter of energy. This great space of just um, energy. Like, but some of the energy, some energy that I can't put into words. And I don't even want to try at this moment in time. But um, yeah, Source itself, it's just this great, unexplainable energy. So we definitely have to come from a space of having all of our power and taking all of our power back, and then we can start to communicate with Source. And Source is going to be like, okay, that's a real spirit. That's a true spirit. This spirit went through all the things they needed to go through. They put in all of this shadow work, all of this work in general, energy work, and they did what they needed to do. They went through all of these different things, and they're about what they're about. They're not a scared spirit. They went here, and they went, to all these dark places and came out, and whatever, however you want to look at it, they've been through a lot of different things. This is a very wise spirit. They're ready. I feel like you have to go through a lot of different certain things, and then like you have to be initiated into being leveled up, and then that's probably why we've been here multiple lifetimes, because like we needed to learn things, we needed to grow and expand. That's why this earth, it is, school, a school of hard knocks. How you kind of want to look at it, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely look at it as a school, like so I think that's how we need to start using these things, and start seeing these things. And like I said, um, recalibrate our situations and wisely, because yeah, you know what I'm saying. That's kind of one first things I want to talk about, was prayer and things like that. So definitely start taking your power back, and once you have all your power back, and you're at least starting that process, and you're serious about it and things like that. Well, then you can start to build a relationship. I don't really want to use the word prayer because, like I said, I can start, praying just out loud right here, right now. Just start talking, or just like I said, I already got the relationship and things. Everybody is who they are. You know what I'm saying? Um, or you can do the same thing, with other spirits out there, and like I said, you could apply that to your other spirits out there. You want to build a relationship with certain spirits. You want to build a relationship with yourself. All of this is, you can apply it to everything I'm saying, but yes, when it comes to even, your own spirit, start building a relationship with your own spirit. That's how your spirit is like, okay, they're ready, or they're not just, because sometimes a lot of people may just be saying things to, get certain things. They don't got the right intentions, and your spirit can see that. So once you know you're in alignment, you're in your true space, and you're coming from a pure, intentional space, then it's like, okay, you can start to build a relationship with your spirit, and it'll definitely give back, and you will notice, okay, I'm connected. Just like I said, you got a relationship with your best friend, it'll be as clear as day. The same thing, I got a relationship with my spirit. I got a relationship with Source. It's as clear as day. It's a back and forth thing. I communicate, it communicates back. I communicate with my spirit, it communicates back. You know what I'm saying? And it's not too big on words, because your spirit doesn't really do words. Your source doesn't really do words. I feel like they kind of put language in front of us to kind of, because they know how powerful we are. But it's like I feel like there's all these different programs of division to kind of block us, or to kind of, we got to get over the language, this, that, the other, and it's like there's all these different programs that we got to break through to actually get all of our power back, and to truly start being spiritual beings from a, just from like a very pure space, what I'm saying, from a root level, what I'm saying, like how did we start communicating with source, like from a root level, like at the root of that, it doesn't deal with language and things like that, or communicating with your spirit and things, like all of this, it doesn't take language, like it doesn't really understand that, it's more so about your frequencies, vibrations, most importantly your energy. It's like it's big about your energy, and your intentions, things like this. These are all going to be big things. But I don't to keep on going, some more things is like, one of the biggest things is going to be meditation. Meditation is one of the biggest ways that one of the biggest tools that we're going to have when it comes to esoteric communication. Not only to start getting in tune with ourselves, like this is how we can start to build a relationship with ourselves. And once we start to meditate enough, our spirit will be like, okay, now I can start. They can see, and they have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. And that I'm not talking your real eyes and your ears. I'm talking esoterically. This person they can pick up on what I can give them. So your spirit will start to communicate with you. Through meditation. And you'll start getting a lot of different visions, downloads, synchronicities. And once we start to do this more, we can actually get to a space where it's like. Because astral traveling and projecting at the root level, everybody does that, but we can definitely train ourselves to get to a meditative state, to where we can, almost like a light switch, like we can practice and cultivate this skill so much and master this meditative state, where we can kind of flip this on, and we can really like detach, like not in a bad way or anything, I'm saying, like, we can take our energy body and we can detach it from our physical body. And our physical body will be perfectly fine. Everything is good. You know what I'm saying? We're still connected to our physical body, but we can take our energy body and we can, start to truly like travel, and things like this, to where, it'll be more precise, and we can control it, and we can do a lot more things. We can do a lot more traveling in a more precise way and things for longer periods, almost like lucid dreaming, but like I said, it's in reality. Like your physical body is awake, and but you're just traveling through the esoteric realm, or different dimensions, or whatever it is that you're trying to extract, from your travel and things like that. So meditation is definitely going to be super important. Even when it comes to communicating with the higher power and source. Start to practice, that meditative state, and start to, communicate using non-verbally and things like that. um, And then, even like moving on to like your frequencies and your vibrations, these are going to be another way that more tools that we're going to be able to use to communicate with source, your spirit, and things like this. The frequencies that you're going to be on, like, whether it just be, you want to communicate, you're starting to ask spirit about what it takes for you, for your physical body, what's good for your physical body. Okay, you're going to start to tune into those frequencies. A lot of people, they don't even know how to do that. Like they or they're tuning into the wrong frequencies. They may have the wrong intentions, or they just don't know how to do this. So they may not be people that meditate and things like this, or they may have not done a lot of frequency energy work and things. So definitely like tuning into that frequency. That's definitely going to be one of the ways that we attune to be able to communicate, and to pick up on the messages, and things like that. Because like I feel like one of the biggest things is like it's at the bottom, at the root of it, because even like say you're trying to communicate with other spirits out there and things like that, with your frequencies, it's going to be like it's going to be more like telepathy. That's like how just one of the ways that communication may work, and say like the fourth to the sixth dimension. It's going to be more so based upon like telepathic communication, right? Because, like I said, it's not going to be dealing with communication. It's going to be, based off frequencies and things like that, you know. And this is one of the ways that we're definitely going to be communicating with higher spirits as we elevate ourselves spiritually. It's going to be more of a telepathic type of communication. And like I said, that's just one way. I'm not saying that's the end all be all. It's just telepathic and things like that. But yeah, and then just like as well as like, and then you could take that as like, don't like, say you're communicating things like I said, but you're not on that frequency, then it's like, you know it's not going to be there. That chemistry is not going to be there. So whatever you're trying to communicate with, it's not going to hear you properly, and you're not going to receive the proper messages back, if you're not on the right frequencies. And even like your vibrations, like for whatever it is you do want to communicate, be in that vibration, like, get on those vibrations. Or like I said, and you could just take that as well with the frequencies. That goes both ways, be on the right vibration so you can push that out, or you can just be in the proper states of beings and things like that. And that can just be as simple as, being in your truest space. And yeah, being in your space and just truly pushing out those vibrations, being in alignment, things like this, having the right intentions. And then, you can push out with your vibrations what you're trying to communicate. Like I think a lot of it has to do with like energy signatures and things like that. So what type of vibrations are you pushing out, and you can communicate with your vibrations, right? And then you'll get that back, through vibrations and things like this. Like the whatever you're trying to communicate with, whether it be your spirit, other spirits, or source, it will communicate back, through vibrations and things like that. Whether it be through the external, how certain vibrations that you're getting and things like this, and like and it goes very deep. It goes very deep. When I say this, because like I said, the way that the vibrations may come to you, it just be in very mysterious ways. Like I said, we have to be truly tapped in to pick up on these things, or to put these pieces together and things like this. Because like I said, it's not going to be yeah, you will get messages through people talking and using actual verbal communication, but there's a lot of different things that, like I said, if we're on a certain level, we can pick up on it. And like I said, it's hard for me to explain right now, but it's like if you know, you know, but yeah, I'll try to definitely try to make a lot more different videos, so I can break these things down and actually communicate these things in a way that I would like to, because I definitely want to get these points across and things. Um, yeah, but moving on, like I said, I already talked about, prayer and like your words and things like that, because I said your words, they can be very powerful, but you definitely got to not be in like low vibrations, low frequencies, and you got to have the right energy, intentions, and things like this. And like I said, taking your power back is some of the most important things, when it comes to prayer, your words, and things like this. Because once you start taking power back, the words that you use are going to be a lot different. The energy that you put behind the words, the frequencies and vibrations, all of this is going to be different. These words are going to be powerful instead of powerless. These words are going to be powerful that you use. So I'm not saying, prayer, words, and things like that. Don't use that or not anything like that. But I mean, like when it comes to the root of like esoteric communication, it doesn't really deal with verbal communication. So some more things that I feel like we can use are like numerology. I feel like that's one way of like not using verbal communication that we can definitely communicate to source, communicate with our spirit, communicate with other spirits out there, right? And you guys can like create your own science behind these things. But I feel like when it comes to like numerology, you can like take whatever try to focus on 1 through 9 and kind of develop your own knowledge and wisdom behind these things. My bad. I just had to check my phone real quick. I thought some things were going on. But yeah, my bad. Yeah, when it comes to like, numerology, focusing on 1 through 9, like I said, teaching yourself what those numbers truly mean and things like that from its pure space, kind of studying the 1 through 9. But you can, all numbers have power and things like that. But I like to focus on those numbers. And then whatever type of like I said, it's big on like energy signatures, right? So you can start to study the energy signatures of each number and things like that, and whatever type of energy um, that you want to get into to get to whatever you're trying to communicate across, or it can just be like whatever energy signature you're trying to be in. Which kind of was going to go into something else I was going to talk about. Like I'll go back to numerology real quick, but it's like, being in the energy of whatever it is you're trying to communicate. That's going to be like one of the biggest things of like, that's going to be like one of the fastest ways of like manifesting, fastest ways to get to communicate with whatever you're trying to communicate with or to receive, communication back. It's definitely going to be through being in that energy, right? Like whatever it is that you're trying to communicate, just being in that energy, and that could just mean, a lot has to do with being open, letting go of control, trusting, belief, things like this. All of this is going to come into play, but being, like I said, it goes back to, having power, being powerful, not being powerless, not giving your power away, knowing the true spirit that you are, knowing what you're capable of doing, being in that energy, being powerful, being the true spirit that you are. And this is going to be one of the biggest ways to help us, communicate esoterically, you know. Yeah, like I said, with the numbers, studying like all those energy signatures and like which energy signature do you want to, do you need to ride to be, to get this, to communicate esoterically, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we can kind of like, take that number, whatever number it may be, and kind of just meditate on that, whether it be for, meditate every morning on that, and like I said, you can create your own science behind things, but try to do that for a week. You want to be in certain energy signature of, the number one, within, like I said, start to meditate on that number every morning or whenever you have free time and things like that. It doesn't have to be the morning, but just being consistent about these things, so you're doing that consistently, and then it's like you'll start to notice, how you are starting to embrace and embody that energy signature. Like I said, you can do that with any number, but I feel like numerology itself, or doing like number rituals, number spells, creating your own different things, whether it be, say you have the number 3, or whatever it may be, doing things in threes, setting up different triangles, for your ritual and things like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to give you guys some ideas and things like that. But yeah, like using numerology rituals and spells, or just tapping into numerology in general. That's definitely one of the forms of esoteric communication, as well as like creating sigils. I feel like creating sigils in itself are like that's, like I said, these are all just like tools. I feel like, to communicate non-verbally, and these are very powerful. I feel like these are, like I said, these are this is how you communicate a lot faster than just words, because words are very, I said words are powerful, but you could just look at it as like words are dense as well, like this is a very dense reality. So it takes a lot more time, like I said, if you're not powerful, because I'm not trying to downplay the power of words, because like I said, your words can literally be your wand, like your magic wand, but you have to be a real spirit to be on that level, where it's just like whatever I say, like, what I'm saying, and we all do create our reality through our words and stuff. But first, like, it's like the vibrations and the frequencies that we're on, and what space our spirit is at, and that's how like we communicate. So, but if we're on, if we're in alignment and we're in our truest space and we're on the right frequencies and vibrations, yes, our words will be super powerful. You know what I'm saying? It'll be super powerful. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Creating sigils is another powerful way of communicating non-verbally. Putting your own intentions on it, and whatever you're creating through the sigil, whatever kind of energy signatures you're trying to manifest out of that, or whatever it is you're trying to manifest in your reality or create, and things like this. And another thing is putting like putting colors on it, or this can just be with anything that you're creating. Like if you're into art and things like this, but I mean, like if you do create sigils, kind of tap into the colors as well, like the energy signature of colors, and like how you communicate with colors as well. You know what I'm saying? You can take like blue, like you're trying to be in a very communicative state. You're somebody that has trouble speaking your truth and things like this, or you just struggle with communication verbally and things like that, right? So you probably wear a lot of blue and things. Try to until you get on that, you embody that energy signature. I'm not saying you got to wear blue every day and things like, but I mean, it wouldn't hurt to like wear some blue at least every day. If that's really something and it's all a part of like putting in the energy work. Like energy work is super important, because a lot of people, they may just look at things like, they want things quickly, but it's like, a lot of this takes work. A lot of this spiritual things, and working on your spirit. A lot of this is going to take work, and it's going to take a good amount. But yeah, tapping into sigils, tapping into putting colors on sigils or colors on your artwork and things like this, with the intentions of communicating esoterically, through like I said, numerology, sigils, putting colors on your sigils and things, you know, or you can just create a number sigil, and but put a color on the number, and create a sigil around the number, like I'm just saying, there's a lot of different things that we can do. But yeah, and then like I said, intentions are going to be super big, when it comes to communicating esoterically, because we know intentions. That's not. I mean, there's a lot of spirits, that can see people's intentions and things. I'm pretty sure a lot of us, we can see people's intentions. But for the most part, intentions are going to be really seen and things. You don't really, you do, people do verbalize intentions, but usually intentions are kind of like behind the scenes and things. Like that's something that, like I said, that's going to be a form of esoteric communication. So when it comes to esoteric communication, whether it be with your spirit, other spirits out there, or a source itself, intentions are going to be super important as well. Um, even like rituals and spells, that's another big form of esoteric communication, right? And one of the ways that we can truly start to communicate, give off and receive communication when it comes to our spirit, other spirits, and even source itself. you know I feel like all of this is like, it's gonna, doing rituals and spells is gonna be energy work, and like I said, your spirit, other spirits, and even source itself sees this energy work, and that's how it communicates. And it's like, okay, this person is really trying to communicate with me from a pure space, like this is how you communicate. This is how you truly communicate with them, and this is how they will this is how you start to truly build a relationship in these different ways. Like we are truly magicians, we are truly witches and wizards. We are truly gods and goddesses. Like we are super powerful, and those are just labels and like things like that. It's like it's beyond that. We're so powerful. We don't even a label can't box us in. We can't be contained by a label or anything. Um, but yeah, these are definitely one of the ways, cultivating, your spell work, cultivating your ritual work, and um, you know, practicing these things and building your skills in these areas and things. And we can truly start to see how we will level up, and these things will come a lot easier to us and things, right? So yeah, last few things is like, um, another big way is like, it goes back to like the energy work, kind of what I was saying is like, but spiritual strength, building spiritual strength is going to be one of the something big as well when it comes to like esoteric communication, because when we're trying to communicate esoterically, there's always going to be resistance. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be resistance. And the spirits that don't want to see us prosper out there, like the spirits that created this system we're in, this magic square, and things like that, spirits that want to control people. um, But yeah, there's going to be a lot of resistance all the time, especially like it's just off top, like say they, whenever it was you kind of came into your own and started leaving this magic square and things like that, the spells and the rituals wore off on you and you broke through and you threw the chains off and all of that. Immediately you probably had, you were getting attacked immediately by all different angles, because they're like, yeah, they don't want to see spirits break free and things, so spiritual strength is going to be one of our biggest weapons that we can use, and that's at the end of the day, spiritual strength is the ability to resist certain things. If you take that with your frequencies, all your thoughts are not yours. So have you done the work to where all the thoughts that you have don't affect you, like you can resist, all the thoughts that aren't yours, you became the observer, you can resist all those thoughts and those thoughts don't attach to you and they don't affect you, all the vibrations that are not yours, if you're super empathic like myself, have you learned to have you learned to transmute, all of those energies that aren't yours, all those vibrations that aren't yours, so you can, get in your truest state of being in your space, and you can be in your state of being, and you can be in a state of being where it's like you have a force field around you. So around, like I said, you're super empathic, but these things don't affect you. All these vibrations that people want to throw at you, or just the vibrations in the world, this doesn't affect you. So building spiritual strength when it comes to all of this and things, or just spiritual strength in general. Like I said, we're all on our spiritual journeys and things. So we all know what it's about. To get attacked or to go through downs, and it's always going to be. It's never just going to be. You just riding high on life all the time. But a lot of people will let that down, get them down. A lot of people let that down, throw them completely off to where it's like now they're not on a journey anymore. They're like, nah, I don't want to. Nah, Um, but it's like, yeah, the real spirits, the true spirits, we're in this for the long haul. It don't matter. I'll take a, yeah, I fall sometimes. Like I said, Virgo season, I didn't fall or nothing, but it's like it was just a little harder on me. So, but I'm still here. We're still in this. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, we can use these times as sometimes you got to lay low to, to get your energy back together, to get yourself back together. So you can be the best you, so you can provide the most good quality and things like that. Um, so yeah, definitely, spiritual strength is going to be one of our biggest weapons when it comes to esoteric communication or just in general spiritually on our journey. But yeah, because like I said, when you're trying to communicate esoterically, I'm telling you, there's always going to be some things trying to throw you off. There's always going to be some things trying to throw you off. So really cultivating spiritual discernment as well. That's going to be super important. You know what I'm saying? But spiritual strength is going to be one of the biggest weapons. And then when it comes to like one of the biggest, like these are like the biggest things for me is like, I mean, yeah, like I'm somebody that does dream a lot and things, not only like, dream, like, but I'm pretty sure we all do, like we already know, like, you know, um, imagination, creativity, faith and belief, like these things, individuality, creativity, these things are going to be like some of our biggest, some of our biggest weapons as well, along with spiritual strength and a lot of other things. Um, but like the subconscious and dreams, like these are going to be like some of the big, like these are like, I mean, I guess for me is specifically, but it's like these are some of the biggest ways that I definitely try to communicate and put in a lot of my energy work into, so I can level up in these areas, level up subconsciously, so I can truly, I feel like the subconscious, they say you only get like 10% of your brain or whatever, and most people don't even reach that. But it's like all the other space, all of that under, and I don't really necessarily believe in 100%. Okay, like there's 100% of your brain. I feel like, that's my point about like they throw all these different programs on us to like we have came so low and dense. It's like we don't know the true power of what we're capable of. 100%. That's not even, nah. Like our minds are like our spirits created this. It's like our the brain is super powerful, so it's like once we start to tap into that subconscious, that's, I feel like all the rest of the space that they don't say, like, have the ability to tap into, like they try to focus on, okay, this is all the power you have in your brain, and it's like that's kind of like we restrict ourselves with that, we cap ourselves, like we never going to break through that if we don't actually start to delete all their programming, not, like I said, take our power back. And like I said, once we start to build communication with source and things, that it'll let us know these things, like our spirit, it will let us know these things, like those are lies. Like I said, 10%, those are lies. Those are all, they're trying to deceive you with all those things, because they don't want you to truly tap into everything that you're capable of. So I said, once you start to cultivate your subconscious mind, you can truly start to communicate. Like, you won't even know like, it's so deep, like you won't even know you're communicating, but your subconscious will just be like, it'll just be communicating for you, and things are like, you can start to train your subconscious, to where it's like, I'm telling you, it can do a lot of different things at once, and it's super powerful and things. So like our subconscious mind is definitely going to be one of like our biggest tools, but it's going to take more energy work than all the other ones, to train, um, to get in alignment with and things like that, and then to learn how to use, start experiencing with that, so we can create wisdom with our subconscious mind and things, and even just like dreams as well. I feel like dreams, that's like one of the direct ways, that we can communicate. And like I said, it's going to take a lot of energy work as well, a lot of energy work, a lot of time, practice, cultivating intentions. It's not going to be easy, but we can definitely get to a level, elevate spiritually, where it's like we can start lucid dreaming. We can like truly start to control our dreams, and we can do exactly what we want to do. We want to communicate with certain spirits. We can truly travel there, when we're asleep, and in our dreams, and in our Genesis, and our in the yin realm. When we go back to where we're truly at. Go back to wherever my spirit is at now. That's where I go when I'm, when we're asleep. Wherever space you're at. In the esoteric realm. Um, wherever you are, no thing at, and you create from that space, right? But yeah, your dreams, that's going to be one of the biggest ways, of esoteric communication. I'm pretty sure we all know, like the dreams that we get, we've all have gotten dreams that was like, that's why, I made a video already about, a dream journal, but like a dream journal is going to be super important, and then, because we can get to a point where it's like we have a dream journal, say for a year or something. We don't even need the dream journal anymore. Like I said, once we start to cultivate our subconscious mind, if we put in enough work, like I said, we won't need the dream journal. It's all downloaded in our spirit. Like we got this. It's all downloaded in our Akashic record at this time. Um, but just bottom line though, like dreams are going to be one of the biggest ways as well. So start to just to learn the importance of that, because I know a lot of us may not be at a level, with dreams and subconscious, to where we can do much. We may not get a lot of dreams and things. But it's like I said, you got to start somewhere. It's gonna take a lot of energy work, but you got to start somewhere. Like I said, with the meditation, you're never gonna get to a level where it's like I can truly astral travel and project from a level that's like I can sit somewhere and truly, literally, detach my energy body from this body, and kind of like remote view things like this. You know what I'm saying? You can truly do these things, but it's going to take a lot of energy work. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a real spirit, and just like I said, with the subconscious, with the dreams, like you're never going to get to a point where you control your dreams and you can start to communicate with the source and things like this through your dreams, unless you truly are about what you're about. You got to be about it. But yeah, and then as well as like, just another example of like, non-verbal communication esoterically is like, faith and trust. I feel like when you have trust, that's one of the ways that you like. That's like confirmation. That's confirmation to your spirit, confirmation to other spirits, confirmation to source itself. Like, okay, this spirit has the right intentions, or they're about, like, you got to have the trust. Like, I feel like there's a certain there's like just like a certain checklist of things that, like, if you just don't have these things, you're just not gonna get to a certain level. Like I said, we just take it with individuality, creativity, imagination, faith, belief, trust. Like these things, if you don't check, and these are just like some things. It's like there's a lot more, you know what I'm saying? But it's like these are just some things. It's like once we check those things off, then it's like we can truly start to elevate and things like that, right? But when it comes to trust, that's just confirmation. You're showing the universe, higher source, higher spirits, your spirit, you got that trust. That's almost like a camp. It's like a road or something. It's like if you don't have the trust, then it's like you don't have that road, or like that line of communication. Once you have that trust, then it's like, okay, now there's the connection. like I said, you have to have all these things connected, all these different checklist things, but it's like, and it's like faith as well. I feel like once you have like, and that's a little different, because I feel like when you do things, first of all, you have faith, faith in yourself, faith in a lot of different things that you believe, but like when you take that, like when you take leaps of faith, that's one of the big ways of like, I feel like that's like a big way of esoterically communicating. Like that communicates to source, like, okay, like like this spirit is, what I'm saying, they're really, I can really work with this spirit, or other spirits out there, real spirits are like, okay, this person, he really, she, whatever, they really are about what they're about, they are a real spirit, they're ready to level up, they're ready to um, start this process, whatever it may be, wherever we're at in our journeys, they're ready to, what I'm saying, take on this master role, ascendant, like whatever it may be, like we can start to truly communicate with this spirit, these things, but like taking those leaps of faith, that's like one of the biggest ways of showing, because it's going to be big on like energy and action. That's a big way of how we communicate. That could just be like, source gives you something that you need to do, but it's like, what I'm saying, like here's like how you level up. Source showed it to you, your spirit, other spirits, they showed it to you. This is what you need to do. You want to get to here, this is what you need to do. But you're too scared to take that leap of faith. You know what I'm saying? That can just be like, say you've already saved up enough money for your business or something, right? And it's like, you got everything, source, other spirits, your spirit, it gave you the things that you need, like it gave you everything you need, like, and it showed you like, okay, you can stabilize this business now, you saved enough money, you did it, everything that you needed to do, and you can actually do this. But you're kind of stuck in that space of like, you're still kind of running fear programs. You're still kind of like, you don't got that full trust. You don't got that full faith. So you're not ready to take that leap of faith yet, And that's not to say that it's never going to be there. Like some people, it may just be like, okay, it took them a lot longer, to take that leap of faith. But it's like, and they'll give you that leeway, like I mean, time is really an illusion at the end of the day, besides like, being here in this reality and probably other realities they deal with time and things, lower dense realities, um, or like, but I mean, like truly, like if you start to take that leap of faith, like off top, like you don't even second guess it. You're like, okay, it's there for me. I just got to take that leap of faith. You know what I'm saying? Now, once we start to take more leaps of faith, we'll see like it kind of goes back to like the whole like religious thing. Like that's why um, people that pray and things, like they need to see it to believe it type things. But it's like start to just have that faith and trust off top. But it's like once we start to do things off faith, it will be shown like, yes, you know what I'm saying, like this is how, like, our spiritual journeys are being accelerated, or like these things that we're trying to manifest, the life that we're trying to create, it's happening a lot faster now. And it's like, it's because you're starting to take these leaps of faith quickly, like, because you got that full trust, you got that full faith. And it's like I said, that's one of the biggest ways we can start to build a relationship with source, with higher spirits, with our spirit, because that's how they love that stuff, that stuff, like they love real spirits, because there's not a lot out here. There's a lot, but there's not a lot. Um, so yeah, I know that was kind of long and things like that. Definitely gonna try to work on, getting my transmissions out a lot more clear and quicker and things like that. But yeah, I'm doing the best that I can right now. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep on growing and expanding. Like I said, I'm back at it again. A lot more videos to come and things like that. So yeah, I hope everybody's doing good out there. Like I said, happy Moon Day to everybody out there. Yeah, let's just keep this going, y'all. All right, your boy Jay signing out.